Hello, this is going to be a short video to take you through the resources on the course website to write a discussion. Again, this is not meant to teach you as much as it is just to take you through the steps that you need to take to write the discussion and how to use the website to do that. So starting off, let's go to the link, Technical Report Draft 1, and scroll down to the instructions on writing a discussion. Basically a discussion. What is a discussion? A discussion interprets the results of the experiment. In the results section, you actually put all of your figures and all of your tables and state in the results what the results are. And then in the discussion, what you're trying to do is to tell the story that the results say. So you have results that you have certain numbers, and those numbers basically tell you something, and you're using the discussion to indicate that. So here are the 4 steps that I have here in terms of how to write the discussion. Number 1, restate the purpose along with a sentence or two and whether or not the results of the lab procedure accomplish or fully support the purpose. Step 2, in a paragraph form, identify specific data from your experiment. That means actually reference figures such as sentences like, in figure 2, the voltage at 2 seconds was at a value of 5 volts, whereas at 4 seconds it was at a value of 3 volts, which results in a total decrease of 40%. You need to be able to specific and reference specific numbers from the results, not just state what you think is going on, but you need to actually use numbers to tell your story. And what you're going to do is, step 2 is also basically indicating that you're going to use the questions in the experiment handout to lead you to learn how to discuss your results. And step 3, you're going to use your understanding of the concept of the experiment to explain what the results are telling you. And then step 4, you're going to discuss other items such as sources of errors, how your findings compare to a theoretical model, or finding some other sources, and so on. To be sure that you answer all of the questions from the experiment handout, you are to, after each section of the experiment, the discussion that is used to answer a specific question, you're going to, at that last sentence, put an open and closed bracket with the question number in it. So for example, the last sentence here, the thermal conductivity decreased with pressure, you see open closed parentheses 1. That means that that sentence or the sentences there and before that particular sentence answers the question 1 from the experiment handout. Once you actually write up your discussion section, you can go back and critique it and make changes to it based on how it's going to be graded. So if you go under Forms and Documents and then bring up Technical Report Draft 1 Evaluation, and you scroll down to where it talks about discussion, it'll tell you the rubrics and how it's going to be graded. The discussion is based on 3 different rubrics. Number 1, that you open with an effective statement of purpose. Number 2, provide sufficient and logical explanation in support of the purpose, answering all the questions in the experiment handout. And then number 3, backs up the purpose with reference to specific findings, meaning that you actually reference numbers from the results. To expand upon that, click on Technical Report Draft 2, and then scroll down until you get to Discussion. So here are the 3 rubrics. 1 opens with effective statement of purpose, of support of purpose, so you can read through that and see what that looks like. 2 provides sufficient and logical explanation in support of the purpose, basically answers to questions in the experiment handout. And number 3 backs up the purpose with reference to appropriate findings. I'm not going to read through all of this right now. You can do that on your own time, but make sure that when you get to this point, you have already written a first attempt at your discussion and you're trying to improve upon it by going back to this link. That concludes this video. If you have any questions, of course, you can always come to my office.